I have
But
forever.
then this amateur co-caster of me starts complaining about how cold it is. How do I work with this guy?
I think Carmack's one of the best brains in esports. I've said it many times.
And he has one of the best bellies in esports.
And he's working on a good one. He's got a little bit of a tire. He's kind of
tired.
Yeah.
You know what Carmack once told me when I made fun of his belly? He said, I gained weight like a man, and he was pointing at his belly, and he said, you gained weight like a woman, because it was on my size. I was like, wow, that's so mean, Carmack.
Carmack is... You never want to match wits with Carmack. He's always going to win.
Anyway, guys, game number 3 is live. Jig versus Ryung. The game is going to be played on Derelict, and Ben, now I am convinced we have no game sounds.
I have music.
I have nothing. I think my IFB stopped working. Is that possible?
Carmack would be so disappointed in you right now.
Yeah, that's not the case. I'm just as long as the stream has game sounds, I am fine, Ben. I don't really need any game sounds. They just make me cold, like the void.
Some
Anyway.
knee pads or something.
Cold is the void.
Because my knees are cold.
Stop talking about conditions, Ben, and start focusing on your job. Over here on the right top side of the map, we have the man who looked very sharp and determined in game number 2 of this series. Let's see if he can continue that trend. He is Axiom's Ryung. There's still $100 on the line for Ryung, and of course, making it through WCS.
Maybe you can get one of those new $100 bills.
Oh, they're beautiful. I had one of them, but I had to give it to you.
I mean, I'm going to use it to buy your Christmas present.
I finally had money, but now it's over.
And in the bottom left-hand corner of Derelict Watcher, the Blue Zerg player, currently teamless.
What is he?
If he's on a team, it's a team worth mentioning, but one that is also more obscure. It says TKS there. What does that stand for?
Team kills.
Team Kill Slayer.
Oh,
Oh,
love it.
snap. He is Jig. My dad is a fisherman, and one of the types of bait that you use is called a jig.
Maybe that's where I got this nickname from. Maybe Jig is also a very good fisher. How cool would it be if Jig actually competed in a fishing tournament with your dad?
Oh, man.
And
be
your
next
dad
level.
whined about the jig that he was using. And then he said, you know what, when I play StarCraft, I'm going to name myself Jig. I think this is how Jig got his nickname. He owned your dad in a fishing tournament.
Oh, man. I need to call my dad. He sent me a very sad email about Thanksgiving,
I saw that email.
how he misses his family. I was like, oh, man, it makes me feel guilty.
Yeah, that's not funny at all. Let's keep it nice, man.
Command center first for
We can
Ryung.
also never talk about sad things on stream. We only talk about happy
We can
things.
talk about sad things.
That's true.
Some of the
We
best
are human
stories are
after
sad
all.
stories.
That's true. Like my makeup adventure today. I felt really bad because I hated when people like try to do nice for you and then you just don't really.
Yeah.
Oh.
And look on Alice's face. She was so crushed.
Yeah, he hated me.
She was just... she came in and she gave her time and her expensive makeup.
Yeah. And then I watched
And
it
she
all
worked really hard. And it looks nice, Kev.
Like if I wouldn't have to go on camera and if I wasn't representing WCS, even though today is kind of like a fun broadcast because it's Halloween after all, you know, I would just pull it off. I would go to a bar. Who cares? Have some red lipstick on my face. I would rock it.
I
But
think you'd have to be careful about that.
yes, it would get a little hashtag dicey for me in the bar as well. But you know, it was just not. It was not camera.
We
ready.
wouldn't want to go to Taco Tuesday at El Torito's, for
No,
instance.
no. You don't want to go. You don't want to go to Taco Tuesday at El Torito's regardless, man. Bad things happen.
It's
at
hashtag dicey.
It's a little more than hashtag dicey. Once more, we can see that Jig is going with, you know, you would almost say it's a standard build, the spawning pool before the hatchery, and then he gets a ridiculously quick layer for everyone who's just tuning in. They're like, Casters, you're missing something, you're missing something. No, this is the way the Jig's been winging
This is
it all
called the
day.
jig build.
He's pulling a Jig. And Ben, I'm very curious to see where he's going to go with it.
Third command center for Ryung, which might work well for Jig. Might work out well for Jig.
Depends on how he wants to, where he wants to take this, man. If it once more is going to be the big Baneling boss, or if it's just going to be the very quick Muda with +1
My
armor
money's on Muta.
into another Roach transition. We will see. I really think if Ryung just makes 6 to 8 Hellions and runs them across the map now, he could probably like kill 12 to 14
Probably just win
drones.
the game. Because
Also-
there is nothing out on the map. Just 2 queens.
I do think once more we should give a shout out to all of our North American viewers as well who've been with us here at the Halloween broadcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching some StarCraft. It's not been the most serious WCS broadcast we had of all time, as we're we're nearing the end and we're just having a little bit of fun as
If you
well.
were here at the start of the day, you got to see Greetorp's nipple.
Yes.
We
Greetorp
apologize for that.
Aw. Squeetup looked very manly.
And then you saw Ghost User as Paul Revere.
He was in a suit and he was wearing a hat.
1 if by land, 2 if by sea. Double Evo chamber. This is what Jig does when he wants to do the Baneling bust. But we also see the Spire down, so it is going to be Mutas.
Well, Roach one as well.
Preemptively preparing his big tech switch, or maybe he's
Jig
just
is
trying to
such
keep the
an
scout out.
interesting Zerg player, man. It is kind of refreshing to see a North American Zerg player with his own
Definitely
style.
has his own style. No doubt about that. He's not copying anybody.
Oh, pick up that drone,
this
pick
poor
up that
drone.
drone.
No! Why me? Turn into an extractor. Oh. What a terrible way to go down. I think being burned alive would just be the worst.
Yeah, that would definitely hurt. Would you rather burn alive or would you rather drown?
I would rather drown.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Drowning's supposed to be very peaceful.
Yeah, sure. These moments where
There's this moment of panic as you don't want to drown, and then you inhale the water, and it's supposed to be blissful.
Yeah, whoever said that?
That's what I hear.
Yeah, sure. This one dude, he's like, yo, I almost wanted to drown. I was at the bottom of the sea for a little
People
while.
have been to the edge and back, Kev.
Yeah,
They saw the light.
But I don't think they would say
Whoa.
it's peaceful.
No mutas at all, Kev. 9 roaches.
Did
Was
the
the
scan go
Spire
down? Did he
canceled?
actually see the Spire? Yeah. Ryung did see the Spire, man. I'm not sure how he saw it. Maybe with scan. Okay, he threw down the scan. You can see the perfect circle.
Yeah.
So once more we see that crazy muta. You know, Jig is just the type of Zerg play that we used to think was very scary, because what if you scout a Zerg and he has a Roach Warren, a Hydra Den, and a Spire? What is he gonna make? Jig is that guy.
All the things.
I'm Zerg and I get all the production buildings.
This is, again, a very sneaky play from Jig. He's hiding his roaches until he has a critical mass, and he's going to try to march across the map and do something with it. Ryung is preparing for mutas, which is not what's coming.
Then again, Marines are always pretty good.
They are indeed, but where's the medevacs, Kev? Without medevacs, Marines are not so good. First starport is only about 25% of the way towards completion. The roaches are now going to march out. They're going to reveal themselves, and
I love this though, that he's showing a couple of roaches.
I
These
think
are the
Hellions have
handful of.
seen everything.
Oh, you saw the everything?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yep, he saw it. I think he saw it. I think we're going to see him bunkering up. Maybe not.
I think those roaches were out
Maybe
of
not.
vision.
He would not be floating that command center
No.
if he had actually seen that. So
I love the fact that Jig was only showing 3 roaches. He's like, hey man, these are my safety defensive roaches, nothing to worry about. He actually has 22 roaches out on the map. Couple of
JK.
Oh, that's,
He was but a sacrifice. Here we go. Roaches making their way forward. Can they bust through the bunker is the real question. They're going to try to just fight. And this is a tricky situation, but the bunker will fall. And can these roaches stay alive long enough to do the damage that they need to do? Man, that bio is doing a great job of thinning out the roach count. And
a lot of SCVs are biting the dust though.
he's killed 13 SCVs. That's a
that's
respectable number. It puts him ahead in the worker count.
But 18 roaches, I
Looks
do
like
agree.
he's getting ready to switch into Spire. It's +1 muta attack is on the way.
He's switching it up, man.
12 roaches. Baneling Nest also going down, so we will see some Roach Bane.
Jig is full of surprises. +2 missile attacks being researched as well. He's just getting a little bit of everything, man. He just loves
You
to
know, if
research
he makes
stuff.
20 more drones, he might be in an okay position.
I would say that Ryung is in an okay position as well, though, Ben. He lost, as you can see, 13 SCVs. I don't think that's too many. I love the
Yeah.
way that Ryung was positioning his Marines, by the way, making it very hard for those roaches to stand on top of the Marines. Yes, he lost that bunker, but he had enough firepower left to deal with the remaining roaches. I think that was an excellent hold by Ryung.
Now he's got medevacs out, and that's going to make it even easier for him to contend with a continued Roach aggression. As roaches will pick off a couple of Hellions. Nope, just one falls. And Widow Mines and bunkers make for a formidable defense indeed. And Jig has no choice but to back off here. Ryung securing his 3rd expansion. Will be landing that 3rd orbital soon and dropping them mules like a ball.
2-2 is on the way for Ryung, but he just started it, so it's going to take a little while. I do like this whole bunker wall. It's going to make his life a little easier. I love it when Terran players do this at derelict, even though a lot of them do it these days. It just makes sense. It's such a wide open map.
Jig picks off a couple of bunkers, just being annoying, but for the most part, Ryung's not going to mind. He's just playing the defensive game that he needs to play for the time being. Baneling speed on the way. Lots of lings coming. I think Jig might be preparing for a 2nd bust. And I don't know if it's going to work, Kev. There's a lot of Widow Mines. There's a lot of bunkers. A lot of things that are great at absorbing banelings.
At this moment, the army supply is actually slightly in favor of Jig, but we all know that roaches can be pretty supply intensive. A couple of Hellions over here might be able to intercept these lings.
And those lings could just destroy those Hellions. They're also low on health.
You know what I
One
wish
down.
that Terran would have? Something like an actual bomb that could drop.
2 Hellions.
A couple of the tennis were extremely low. They speed up.
Boom.
Wow, did you see them slide down? They were like spinning like it was Vin Diesel in his best days.
I think there was a little bit of creep residue left behind. 50 banelings at once.
He sees one of them.
No, you know.
He's like, oh, 5. 6.
If ever there was a way to do this, I think it would be with 50 banelings, but this is still going to be so hard. These roaches are going to have to absorb some serious Widowmine fire.
I just don't really understand this, because this is the last thing you ever want to bust to. I don't know. We will see a lot of roaches coming in with +2 missile attacks about to finish
Oh,
up.
your banelings are so clumped, Jake. That's not how you want to do it. Widowmines are not getting the juicy connections. Oh! And now Jig has, oh my god, he has busted through everything. Banelings into the naturals. SCVs are gonna get decimated, and here comes Jig. He's in the natural, but not the third base. Roach is pushing forward. The medevac count is not so high that the Marines can just stand and shoot. SCV's pulled off the line once more. More losses being taken for Jig. 42 Zerglings being sent across the map as reinforcements. Can he pick off a couple of Widow Mines? Nope. Ooh. Actually, huge connections kill every single Roach. Ryung falls to 33 SCVs. Kevin, this is getting close.
Well, a lot of 1-1 links making their way across the map as well. I would love to see him just send them to that third base. I would have even loved it if he just sent a handful of links to that third base during this entire push. I actually think that could have maybe won him the game, Ben. Now, I am not sure about this. He's basically going to trade links and banelings for Marines. Yes, he has a slightly better economy, but there's still a lot of Widow Mines remaining as well. Do we have an Overseer?
Oh, he's got to be careful. This is going to be a juicy connection. Widow Mine picks off a lot of these Zerglings, and Jig is going to have to back off. Drones on the way now for Jig.
I don't like this for Jig. He shouldn't have gone for this.
Yeah, he's going to push forward and kill what he can. It might include some SCVs, as a few Banelings will roll in and connect fairly. Whoa! Oh, wow. Cleans it out. Gets everything. 2 SCVs remain. Takes Ryung down to 30 Harvesters against 71.
Both players extremely low on the supply now, but Ryung's army supply is quite a bit bigger, Ben. 65 against 36.
You're not backwards. That is right. 70 army supply for Terran against 35 for
3-3 upgrades are about to get started as well. Ryung, you really don't have to be that afraid. I guess he just doesn't want to lose more SCVs because he barely has any. Doesn't really have any wall-offs either, so this is a weird moment for him to move out on the map. Well, it's definitely the right choice, as Jig just doesn't really have all that much.
Yeah, he's trying. He's getting 21 more Banelings.
Look at his Halloween outfit. If this is not Halloween, you know what I saw the worst Halloween outfit of all time? Someone went as the human centipede. That awful movie.
Do not want.
Do not lie. Unless it's 3 very quick.
Oh, Banelings do connect with the Widow Mines. That's a huge connection for Jig. Oh my god, it's so big. There's only a single Widow Mine left. That's going to make it very hard for Ryung to actually fight here.
There's so many Marines still, though.
Oh, well done, Jig. Very well done. Cleans it up. No! Well, still, that's okay.
36 kills on that one mine. Of course, not all of them were over here. I think he already had 25 as I clicked on that mine before. Ryung is all over the place, though, Ben. I love the pace that he's playing with right now. This is the Ryung that we know, the Ryung that we love. With awesome multitasking, he's going to spread out
Zerglings into the third base. This is going to be good. Ryung will defend this, obviously, but not before he loses a couple more SCVs.
I think Ryung is putting himself in a fantastic position.
He killed the fourth. That's actually huge. And also dropping at the third. Very much spreading Jig out. Jig never decided to build Mutas, Kev. That Spire ends up being pretty wasted. Jig's also not mining on the second gas in his third base. A small mistake there, limiting his ability.
Upgrades, he's so far behind. We're going to have 3-3 before 2-2. We already know what happens when...
Yeah.
That is the case.
But you know, I still think this is a bright moment for Jig. He's shown us some really good games, and I think this is a player with some incredible potential.
This game is not over yet. I mean, I still believe that he can sort of hang in there. I'm just saying that things are starting to look very good for Ryung. But hey, maybe with 1 or 2 massive engagement, maybe Widow Mines do a little bit of friendly fire.
Oh, Widow Mines.
Ooh,
you know, I really think Jig does not lack personality or flavor in his builds. I think he does lack a little bit mechanically, because like the way he's fighting, certain Zerg players, and I'm looking at the Scarlets or to go even higher in level, the Soul Keys.
Those guys.
They always seem to use Widow Mines against Terran.
Soul Key, Roro, yeah, man.
Watching Jig play, it seems that that he's not quite mastered that part of his engagement against these Terran players, and I think when he does wrap his mind around that a little bit better, he's going to be a super good player. At this point, though, you're absolutely right. Ryung has reached that critical point in the game where 3-3 is done. He's got his 3-base economy. He can probably take a 4th soon. Jig's not dead, not at all, but he's running out of time. He's on the clock.
13 Bailings rolling around over here for Jig in the middle of the map, hoping that they will somehow be able to get those connections that they are looking for. But the Mudakan is also just not really scary enough. Is he burrowing Bailings, or no? These are just a bunch of Zerglings spread out. Ooh, a couple of Marines picking up one Muda in process as well. I do agree with what you said, though. I definitely think that Jig has a lot of personality in his builds, and I can see I have a bright future for Jig, man. I'm a believer. I believe that Jig can make it.
If he sticks with it, he keeps working, he keeps practicing. He
Yeah,
can
as
be
I said,
somebody.
maybe just even learn from those other North American Zerg players. Like you mentioned, Scarlet C is obviously fantastic. A couple of Ghost User, our very own
Ghost
Mike.
User's a great North American Zerg player, one of the best, as he's proved on a couple of occasions.
Oh, those matter effects are so exposed. But guys, you can fight.
Meter count not what it needs to be.
These mutas are like, forget it. We're not even gonna get one anyways.
15 mutas now, so with this next little wave of mutas, he's going to be a little bit more capable of fighting and engaging.
And
but
even Zerg players like Jon Snow, we shouldn't forget about him.
yeah, Jon Snow is a real up-and-comer as well.
I mean, he had a hard time showing it today, but you know, against the revival that it was so burned on, you know, or so determined on winning that series, you know, you're gonna have a
that's
hard
the
time.
most ambitious revival you're ever going to see, bro.
That was a WCS Challenger League game for $5,000 for revival.
Yeah.
Or at least the
and
chance.
what is more prestigious than a BlizzCon? Like,
Nothing.
It doesn't get any bigger than that.
Doesn't even matter.
This is a familiar picture that we're seeing here at the bottom half of Derelict, where Terrans just lay siege to this expansion. Good fight there for Jig, though. Picks off more than a handful of Marines, and this actually may force
Jig
Ryung
is hanging
to
in there like a
disengage.
trooper.
Drop dealt with at the third base, no problem there.
He is researching 3-3 upgrades. I mean, even just catching up doesn't mean you're ahead, but it's still something.
Adrenal gland's also on the way, and
Then I believe.
look at this. Little counter action. Lings make no way to the third base. If these Lings do a ton of damage at the third, we're going to have trouble. But at the same time, we see Jig taking a fight at the bottom half of the map. Not a bad fight. Here, look at the counterattack, man. Into the natural it goes, and he will surround and kill more than a small group of Marines. But man, 3-3 is so good on these Marines. Widow Mines will burrow and clean up the rest. And at the same time, we do see Ryung starting to win the battle in the bottom half of the map, pushing forward, focusing this hatchery.
We have 65 links out on the map right now, but not a single link is over here in the bottom side, and there's also not a single bailing out on the map. Mutas cannot take this fight. All of these mutas will fall.
That's gonna do it, Kev. Jig's out of steam, I fear, with the mutas being basically all wiped up. There's only 62 lings out on the map, and just there's a lot of money for Jig. What is he saving for? Is he 10 mutas? That's probably
I think
not
he
what he
wants
needs.
to. Did he have an Ultralisk cover on the
there
way?
wasn't one.
Oh.
Maybe he forgot to put it down, but either way.
I mean, it's been a very hectic game on either side. Jig is still kind of even in supply, but I feel that's a little deceiving as Ryung has 20 workers less, and normally that might be a bad thing. In this situation, I think it's a good thing for Ryung, because that means that his army, I would say, is quite a bit bigger. It's actually just a little bit bigger. He's just up 5 supply. Jig is really hanging in there like a trooper.
He sure is, but we just can't stress enough the importance of 3-3 upgrades for a Terran player playing by a...
Marine is surrounded and actually is able to get off like 6, 7, 8
That's
shots.
not a Marauder, folks.
That Marine is like Thor.
That's his first name.
Thor?
Yeah. Some people name their kids Thor.
This Overseer is not feeling the action of this game. He looks very sleepy. Look, like this eye. He's just like, not a game on Derelict. Just a matter of time before I get shot out of the air by a Widow Mine as well.
At least they don't have feedback.
Is this my Halloween party? And they said I was just going to be a pumpkin.
An Overseer would be an awesome Halloween costume.
Yeah, if you could like light him up from the
Next
inside.
year, we're going to go to Vegas. We're going to dress up as Overseers.
That would be so cool.
And we're just going to run up to people like, I see you!
People would freak out. And with the Ultralisk cavern on the way, where is Jig getting this money from, man? Aren't Zerg players supposed to starve on this moment?
They are, and I think it basically boils down to the fact that he's been playing almost Zergling Baneling only for such a long time. But, man, Ryung is just getting critical. Here we go. Jig once more pushing forward. He's got to be careful of these Widow Mines. They are going to connect very well for Jig, cleaning up so many of the Marines, and Jig pushes this back yet again.
Jig? Is he actually hanging in there, Ben? He has Mutalisk hovering above the
no
production right now of
sense.
Ryung, picking off Marines one at a time. Unfortunately, this Muta count doesn't really have number yet that it has to get. He has to be so careful for Widow Mines.
Oh, man. Jig sees it. trades 2
I
Lings
love it.
for a Widowmine, and now he's into
Oh
the
my
3rd
God.
base. This is Ryung's economy,
No,
Kev,
don't-
although he is landing a
no,
new
this is
expansion
risky,
at the
man.
bottom right-hand corner.
He doesn't have the money to lose his banelings.
Oh, that hurts, and Ryung turns around and cleans up the last of it.
Yeah, not before losing a lot of SCVs, and it comes up to the point actually where, you know, just Muse might not even cut it anymore. Muse are amazing, but this fort base
Well,
is so important, by the way.
If this turns into a planetary, we have Jig's in trouble. But for now, oh, he sees it. Lings are here. Same time, he is being dropped in his own 3rd base, and this is just as important for Jig as this 4th expansion is for Ryung. Ryung cleans up this drop, or not this drop, but this run by. The drop in the main,
Oh, go
or
for
the
it.
3rd. Man, I can't talk. Is going to be very tough to deal with, but with the medevac being shot down, the Mutas will eventually clean it up. 23 SCVs to 48 drones.
Can vocal cords freeze, Ben?
Vocal cords? I guess so. Maybe that's what's happening. As Ryung's going to go ahead and push into the most important expansion Jig has, and he's going to kill it,
Ultra.
Kev.
Lazy
Can this
Ultra.
Ultra save the day?
Well, they keep seeming like
Actually,
maybe some friendly Widowmine fire.
Widowmines are strong. That was
Some big hits.
that was painful. Took out half the health of that
Man, I
Ultra.
love the way that Jig is playing there, and of course all the props to Ryung as well for giving us such an entertaining TVZ on Derelict. It's still even in supply, and normally I'd say hands down this is in Terran's hands. But Jig has shown us some crazy things, man. I might still believe.
Look at all these mules in the bottom right-hand corner.
I don't want to look at
Ryung is staying in this game on the strength of his mules. Now we're going to have...
this poor Marauder is like, God. I really think that was the wrong command, but
Oh, he got cut in half by an Ultralisk.
I'm loyal, so I'm going to make the trip down there. But
Jig, I don't think you can take this fight, homie.
Yeah.
He is going to back off.
and he
knowing-
knows how important it is as well to deny this fort base, but this is just not something he
I
can
think
roll
we're going to
into
see a
now.
huge commitment to Banelings.
Like if he makes all of these links into banelings, if he morphs all of them, there we go.
There we go,
And he
10.
might be able to hashtag roll in.
Banelings being burrowed
And if those
here and
Marines
there and
would chase,
everywhere.
and with all these burrowed banelings over here, Jig, if you're able to pull this off in a way that you can kill that planetary and then retreat and let him blow up all those Marines, you're my hero forever.
This is such a desperate situation. We can see that Ryung, with the power of these mules, is powering ahead further and further in supply. 140 supply. Army supply, he's up nearly 40.
I can't emphasize enough on how much I've enjoyed Jig's play today, though. I think he's such an amazing Terran Zerg player. And it's still not over.
Absolute talent. And he's going to come down this ramp, and that is questionable. He will lose. Oh, I see what he was doing there. He's just trying to burrow some Banelings. Oh my God, did it work? Ryung, oh my
no,
God!
No, Ben, I don't believe it.
Oh, he does go ahead and blow it up. It's not the huge connection that he wanted, but it was okay. Forcing Ryung now to scan.
So that means that the other burrowed banelings are scanned for now. He wants to keep them alive, though.
Yep, and he's going to try to just crash in. That's not going to work, Ryung.
Ryung's army is snowballing out
man.
of control a little bit.
Jig gets it. He gets it. He definitely... he hashtag gets it. He also gets that he can't hold this expansion, and he is going to bail out, instead opting to expand the top
Do you
half
think he
of the
should have
map.
waited even longer? Like, I understand it was a juicy...
Yeah, he's so
like,
hard.
if he gets like 25 Marines. But then he's
Well,
still
yeah, if he gets 25 Marines, it's a game changer. But at the same time, I don't think they were ever going to clump right over him.
No.
I think he got about as much as he was
Yeah,
going
I feel
to
the
get.
same way. He would have obviously loved to just get everything. I mean, he's still on 140 supply. He just doesn't really have
Counterattack
money
again.
anymore.
Unfortunately, there's enough units at home that this is not going to do any damage, and that's an expensive loss for Jig.
3-3 Zerglings are not too bad.
Nope, but 3-3 Bio is a little bit better. 130 supply to 140 supply. Mutas,
These mutas really want to get something done.
they
but-
want to, but it's a tough.
They're like, guys, once upon a time we had +1 armor. Got so much more confidence with the +1 armor.
Little attack moving
Man,
down
this game's
towards
been
6
so long
o'clock
that I
once
got
more.
hiccups, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
Burrowed
Widow
Banelings
Mines.
get another good connection, and the Lings are going to get targeted by the Widow Mines, and those are great connections for Ryung. Ultra's doing good work. Are going to be forced to back off, though. Could there be a huge fungal? Could there be? It's not going to happen. Oh, the Infestor. Targeted down. And I'm afraid that that might be the end of it.
Jig is still trying to counter it.
Oh, very painful. Drones just massacre, massacre. As this expansion will go down. Jig falls now to 32 drones, and against mules and 27 SCVs, he is not going to be able to keep up.
This is that phase in the game where, you know, if you wanted to win, you should have already won this game. And Jig
Yeah.
definitely tried. I think he fought his heart out against a world-class Terran player like Ryung. Nothing to be ashamed of at all for this promising North American Zerg player.
Oh.
Fungal whiffs.
Insult to injury. as this empty medevac floats away, and the medevac's like, nah, 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 nah.
I don't think
your little sister flying that medevac, just, like, teasing you.
Try me again. And then
Now she feels bad. She just comes back and like lets it die.
Right, now you just do something terrible to your little sister.
Just like punch her right in the face.
Flies through the living room. Whoops! I forgot you were
And then he's
7.
just, please don't tell mom. Please, here, you want $5? I'll give you $5 if you don't tell mom.
That's something that my brother always used to do to me. Like my brother used to kick me so hard over a game of FIFA. One time he even shot me with like one of these air guns.
Oh.
Like obviously not like a real gun, but they hurt like hell. I had a bruise on my leg, which is very huge. She's like, don't tell mom, and then my mom saw it. She's like, oh my god, what happened?
And then of course you ham it up, you start crying.
No. I knew that like, I often told on my brother, but not that time, because I knew he would get in serious trouble. I liked him too much for that.
Jig's still trying to make things happen around the map, Kev, but it is it's over, man. He's got no income, he's got no army, and he's got a very scared little pack of drones. Please don't scan.
The big drone ambush.
Please don't scan whatever you do.
This would be a terrifying moment to be a drone. Imagine this Marine's like, hey, did I just caught a glimpse of something?
Marine's like, man, this
Something's
ground's kind of
shiny?
squishy. Run away!
Such a great game though, a fantastic series here between Jig and Ryung, and a fantastic game as well on Derelict here at Halloween evening in the North American Star League Studios in WCS America
The North
Season
American
3.
Icebox.
Yes, because that's what it kind of feels like. Jig has 1 mineral.
Oh, he's about to have 21. Has a few. Oh no! Never again! I want it to be an Ultralisk. Actually,
Might
very polite Marauders will allow some of these drones to pass. And Jig will get home with enough minerals to make one more Infestor, I think.
Yeah,
No, not quite.
the Professor hit squad.
What? No, don't send him to the extractor. They're going to lose the minerals. This is a terrible idea. You need those minerals.
Fungo!
Oh, that's cute. One final desperation play from Jig, but it don't matter, Kev.
It's a little too late.
A day late, $1 short.
And there's no thrift shop.
No, indeed not. If these two Banelings can kill everything...
Oh, that's a great
Then
strong.
Jig will still
Jig has been
lose.
playing such a great series.
Yeah.
Imagine-
Ryung walks over the Banelings and kills them. He knows that he's won. And Jig, too, knows that it's over, but he wants to play it out.
Let's go out with a bang. Lands another fungo. Baining actually got a reading boy.
And here we go, the final march of the Ultralisk. How long can he stay alive? The hero!
He's like,
One transfuse, and that's all he gets. GG. Ryung takes it, 2-1 is the score. He moves on to play against the final boss. It's going to be Ryung versus the STC.